Ladies and gentlemen, and fight fans around the world, this is All Access MMA.
My next guest will face Marcin Prachnio on August the 22nd, and of course it is Mike Rodriguez. Mike, how are you?
I'm good, man. How are you?
I'm good. You know, it's been a while since we've spoken last, actually closing in on a year now. It was right after that fight against Mr. John Allen was turned over to a no contest. Since then, you did have a fight. Unfortunately, it didn't go your way. You dropped that one to Jung. Can you just tell us, what is the takeaway from that fight, looking back at it now?
First of all, Korea is sick as shit. Highly recommend to go to Korea. It's really cool. Second, I think what my thing was with him is that I underestimated him. I'm not gonna lie. My last two fights, I just was out to lunch. I just was like too busy, worried about things that were going on versus focus on my fight. I was just like completely distracted. But yeah, I just dropped the ball on that. I didn't take him seriously. That's what it was.
When you say you're distracted, are you talking about just like in camp, like personal stuff, or what do you mean by that?
Just outside in my personal life. I was just going through a bunch of things last year. So I just was like, I was like 50% in, or I would say less than that, 40% in mentally. I just was always like out somewhere else.
And did that translate over into training? You weren't able to really give it your all and prepare the way you normally would?
Yeah, I wasn't. I just was like dragging ass on everything. Mm-hmm. And, my coaches did the best they could possibly do to put me in the best situation to win the fight. And I fucking just twice in a row just dropped the ball.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
As far as fight night, stepping into hostile territory, I mean, you're facing a guy where you're the enemy. You're going into his home turf in a sense. What was that like? Try to put that into perspective for anyone that hasn't experienced it.
It was actually pretty cool. It was a cool experience because I'm used to guys coming to me. I never been going to enemy territory, so it was actually a really cool experience to be in there. And the thing about like the atmosphere in Korea is like they didn't make me feel that way. Even though I was in their country fighting one of their hometown people, they didn't make me feel that way. They made me feel like very welcoming. It was pretty awesome. So by the end of the trip, towards the end of it, towards getting to the fight, I didn't feel like I was in enemy territory. I felt like at home, honestly. They were just so warm and welcoming. It was awesome.
How long were you there for? And did you have a chance to go out and experience and see what the culture is like?
I was there for like 2 weeks. Yeah, because we flew out like a week before to get acclimated to everything, and then the week before fight week, and just to get acclimated to the time and everything, because everybody's like, oh, jet lag and blah blah blah, and we did all of that. Everything was like awesome. I didn't really feel any symptoms of jet lag until like the end of the second day, I guess you would say.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And how was the food? Were you able to kind of get normally what you would eat, or did you have to adjust as far as that goes?
No, the food was good. I mean, I'm not a picky eater. I like to eat everything, so I could find something to eat. So like all the food was like great, even if the food. I tell you what, their French toast is bomb, dude. So good. I highly recommend it, dude. We was like, this French toast is so good. It's really good. But yeah, it was awesome. Food was great.
You're very active on social media. I wanted to ask you about this since you just mentioned we're talking about food here. You posted something about if you were a sandwich, what would you be? I don't know that you actually said what you would be, but tell me, I guess, what is your perfect sandwich? What is that for you?
It got to be brioche bun. I love brioche buns. Got to have like chipotle mayo with pepper jack cheese. I would like to have like, I would say something like a nice, like some turkey, lettuce, tomatoes. That's perfect for me.
Yeah,
I
you got
love it.
watering. So I'm with you on that. I think I have to go make a turkey sandwich when we're done here. Tell me,
Oh man.
is this fight against Jung, is this setback the most disappointing loss of your career?
Um, I think it was. I wouldn't call it a setback. I would call it an eye opener. I would call it something that like I don't really know how to find the words, but how I felt was that after that loss, I felt like it was like like someone held a mirror up to me. It was like, listen, this is what you need to see. Like, you know what I mean? Like, because you didn't put your fourth effort and, you were so distracted and you did all the XYZ versus to doing the right things you're supposed to do, this is the results that you get. You know what I mean? Like, this is what you should have done. It's kind of like a punishment thing. Like, you know what I mean? Like, your little kid do something bad, burns his hand on the stove, like he's hurt. Like, it was that kind of effect for it. So it was like a really learning thing. So I didn't take it as like a negative. Turned it as as a positive, just growing from there.
And so now here we are 7 months later. How have you grown? What has life been like for you? Obviously, this pandemic has really changed life for all of us. What has things been like for you?
Man, I've been busy, busy, busy. I because I couldn't train or anything during the pandemic, so I had to find other ways of just being creative. And one of the ways I found the creative, I made a whole charity tournament for Modest Needs, um, down Bernardo, Rainbow Six Siege tournament. It was an all-pro tournament. I brought that to them, to CCS Esports, and we made it. They helped me out make it possible. I did that. I was streaming a lot. Like, I did a lot of other things that typically I never really had time to do before because I was always training. I just did all of those things, and it made me kind of like get the love back for training because I haven't had it. And then when I finally did have it, now I'm having it. I'm like, dude, I'm just trying to train all the time now. I'm like, let's train. So it's cool. It reignited the fire a lot. It really did. Um, yeah, it's been pretty dope. It's been sick.
What is it like in the community in the area of Massachusetts that you're in right now? If you were to go out to a Walmart or a Shop and Save or do whatever, how are people acting?
People they just following the rules. Here it's not like what you see in other states or on the internet and shit. It's not like that here. It's mad low key and chill. People just like, all right, we gotta wear these masks. Just wear the fucking mask. Get it over and done with. You know what I mean? You can wear it. You wear it only to go into places, but like once you come back home and stuff, like it's all good to go. Like you see a bunch like where I'm at. It's a little community. It's like a little neighborhood. It's a bunch of apartments. But you see people walking around here. You see people with masks. You see people without masks. It's whatever.
Now, remind me, are you a big team sports guy? Do you get into football and basketball and all that?
Not really. No.
Okay.
Not really. I mean, like I would like watch like a highlight of something, and I know a couple players and a couple teams, but like I don't know it to carry like a full fledged sport conversation. No.
Okay, so you're mainly focusing on the UFC and mixed martial arts in general. How awesome has it been what Dana White has done, going out to Fight Island, setting that up? I mean, were you hoping that you were going to get to fly out to Abu Dhabi, or are you happy that you're going to be going to Vegas?
I'm happy to be going. I would be happy to go to either one. I didn't really think I was going to go to Abu Dhabi, even if like I didn't think I was going to get presented um, that opportunity. But going to Vegas, I'm pretty pumped for that. I love Vegas. I haven't been since I won the Contender Series, so yeah, it's gonna be pretty cool.
Nice. Well, that will be a nice second trip back there for you here soon. You talked
Yeah.
about training and that lack of and not being able to do that and kind of reigniting your fire. What has training been like for you now, and who have been some of the main guys you've been getting you working with?
It's been intense. It's been intense. A little tricky, a little different than usual because certain little things aren't there. But I'm still training with some of the same guys. Ross Levine, Fabio Chavant, he just won last Saturday. Sean Lally, Jorgen DeCosto. The list goes on. Peter Barrett. Well, Peter Barrett, he's a 45er, but we're always in the same room. We was lifting together this morning. So uh, yeah, man, it's been pretty busy. We've been pretty busy. The whole New England, everybody's been showing out. It's pretty dope. Everybody's busy around here.
Tell me, how is Peter looking in camp? Actually, when I'm done interviewing you, I'm going to be interviewing his new opponent, Yusuf, right next. So I'm excited for that matchup. I mean, that's a really, really intriguing one. How has he looked thus far?
Pete's a beast. That man's gonna go out there and do work. He's been looking really good. He's just been focused on his thing. You know what I mean? Yeah, he's really focused and really dialed in. I can't wait to see him fight. It's just he's been waiting for this moment for a long time. He deserves it.
Yeah, I'm excited to see him step inside of the octagon. I actually, another guy that you train with, I just interviewed, and of course, Fabio Chiron is who I'm talking about. He picked up a huge win. When you look at where he's at now, what do you feel like the next step for him is? I mean, maybe another shot at Contender Series? Like, how far away do you think he is from that ultimate goal of being in the UFC, which is, I know, what he wants?
Yeah, I think I really honestly believe I'll be one to tell you I think he can make it. I think he definitely can. He has the tools. I mean, have you seen the kid? He looks like fucking Greek god. Like, you know what I mean? He's shredded to kills, and he's athletic. He's explosive. You know, I just think he should just worry about just staying in the winning column, just racking up wins. The opportunity will come to him. It definitely will come to him. You know, so he just needs to stay focused, and he'll be there.
Now, is your gym open? Are you guys all in there now getting the work in, or are you you have to be creative? Are you outside? I mean, I talk to a lot of fighters that are working out in garages now. Like, what has that been like?
Yeah, we got to be creative. Some gyms are limited open. Some gyms are not open at all. It all depends who's the owner or whatever. But yeah, we're very limited. It's very limited. And on top of that, some of the guys that we train with, some guys is just like, I don't know. I don't want to catch nothing. I don't want to, you know. So it's tough. But you got to be creative. You know, you got to get the work in somehow.
Now, obviously, I follow you on social media. On Twitter, it is MRod MMA. Anyone that's not following this man, go give him a follow. You posted something the other day that I guess I was surprised to see. You said that you've battled depression and low self-esteem for a good part of your life, and you recommended a book. You know, for someone that is from the outside looking in, that sees you as a big guy, a UFC fighter, they might not expect to hear you say that. Can you just kind of elaborate on that and how you've overcome that?
Well, the thing about the whole depression and everything like that, I feel like just like what I learned in that book about cognitive behavior therapy, it's like if you think it, you feel it. So I feel like if you change your mindset on how you view world, yourself, things of that nature, you'll feel better about things. And I'm not gonna lie, it's fucking easier said than done. You know what I mean? I have some off days where I'm just like, fuck this, don't feel like it, like blah, blah, blah. But like, you know, you just gotta, it's like every other grind and anything else. You gotta keep on fighting on it, keep on getting better with it, keep on it. You can't just be like, oh, I had 6 good days and that's it. No, because the 7th day might be a really shitty day. So you gotta stay back on course. So a lot of the things I did is just like, is try to get in tune with my own voice and like how I feel and also like not trying to be, not be influenced by other people's words. If someone say like, oh man, you look like shit today. Like, I don't want to be sitting there thinking like, am I shit? Am I always shit? Like, am I like, nah, you know, just don't let them words affect you. You know what I mean? Like, how do you view yourself? You should always view yourself as the best and like the best person ever in every shape, way, or form. It doesn't even have to be an athlete or whatever. It's just who you are as an individual. You should always view yourself at the highest pinnacle of who you are as a person, you know, but it's, again, like I said, it's easier said than done. You know, it's a lot of work, but people just have to be willing to put in that work to do those things. And some people don't, but I always try to, it's not that some people don't, it's just some people don't know how to do it. And, you know, I always try to just spread the good word and help people out because they don't know how to do it. So, and who else is going to tell them? So I'm like, let me give the information out. You know what I mean?
Very cool. And I completely agree. A little bit about me. that resonated with me because I battled self-esteem issues and depression in my life. One thing that's helped me is The Secret by Rhonda Byrne. It's kind of like the law of attraction. You know, thoughts become things, like you were saying. And I truly believe in that. It's really all about trying to keep a positive mindset. And it's tough. It's a daily battle, but I thought that was very cool. So I wanted to touch upon that. Thank you for sharing.
Thank you, man. Yeah.
Awesome. Let's talk about this fight. It's going to be right around the corner here before you know it. Who will be in your corner come fight night in Vegas?
Joe, Steve Mays, and Jake Manini.
And are you, I guess, excited to look forward to what they're going to do, you know, as far as the testing and the quarantine? I mean, you're going to have the COVID test, then you're going to have to quarantine for X amount of time. Like, are you excited to see what that's like? And you're not going to be fighting in front of fans. And I know a lot of fighters are really upset about that.
Yeah, the fan thing doesn't matter to me. You know what I mean? Like, if I get to a fight right here in this parking lot, like, there ain't going to be no fans there. So it is what it is. But the tested thing, I've heard so many things about it. People hate it. From what I was told, people hate it. I already know I know it's going to be a crazy thing to do, but whatever. I just want to get it done with just so I can do what I want to do. It's just fight.
Have you had a COVID swab test yet?
No. I heard it's awkward as hell, and I heard it's expensive if you have to pay for it.
So if they give you the option to go up the nose or down the throat, which route are you taking?
I think, honestly, depending on how many times I got to try, I'll try one of each just to see which one's worse. Like, go down the throat. Then next time, like, go up the nose.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Doesn't look fun. I don't envy you for that, but hopefully it comes back negative and the fight's a go. Let's talk about this matchup with Marcin. Really interesting matchup. He's got a lot of experience. He fought over at One Championship for a while, but he is 0-2 inside of the UFC's octagon. When you look at his game, where do you feel you're going to hold the biggest advantage here?
I know for a fact that my pressure and just like me being a southpaw is going to put is going to be very hard for him to deal with, because he fought the two losses he fought two southpaws, and he had obviously a nightmare experience with both southpaws. So I think, and I'll be first to tell you, I believe I'm a better southpaw than both of them two. So I think I'm going to have a lot better tools, and I'm just gonna have everything to stop whatever he's gonna throw out there.
And obviously the guys that you're alluding to are Sam Alvey and Ankalaev, and he was finished by both of them inside the first round. Having said that, do you feel like this will be a first round finish for yourself?
Yes, I feel like I will get him out of there in the first round.
All right, well, that's exciting. I know a lot of people here in New England are pumped to see you back in the cage and get a win under your belt and get back to your winning ways. What is next for you? Like, what would you like next? If you go in there and you get this win, you know, I'm not sure what your current contractual situation is like, but do you have how many more fights left you have on your deal, and what do you hope to do?
This is actually the last fight on my contract. So hopefully, if all the stars align, want to win this fight, take some time off, and then be back again. So that's what I want to do.
Very cool. Well, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I just don't want too much time in between my fights. Like, I want to get them going. Like, I want to squeeze at least 3 fights a year, you know?
For sure.
And we already lost half of this year, so at least I want 2 this year, at least 2.
Well, I know it's all going to start here on August the 22nd in Las Vegas. Excited to see you back inside the cage, and I always appreciate the time you give me. Before I let you go, if there's anyone you want to thank or plug your social media, the floor is yours.
Everybody can follow me at Emrod MMA on Instagram and on Twitter. My Facebook, I don't really use it like that. I guess sometimes I do. Also, I want to give a huge shout out to all my teammates that come out. Jacob Andrews. Andrews Jacob. I always butcher his name. He's going to hate me. Fabio Chavant, Sean Lally, Lorenzo Kane, Ross Levine. The list goes on. I could keep going. Greg Ravello. The list goes on. Give a shout out to all of them. Shout out to all my coaches to make all of this possible. especially my man Master P, Mike Perry. He's the man. He's my conditioning coach. He does a lot of one-on-one, gives me a lot of one-on-one attention. But yeah, and give a shout out to you for interviewing me.
Hey, I appreciate it, man. It's always a pleasure. I love watching you fight, and I love talking to you. So let's do it again soon, and best of luck on the 22nd.
Thank you, my man. Have a good one.